I'm Yuri.
I'm Jakub.
We're going for a drive. The all-new updated Gen 2 Rivian R1S.
Tri-motor with launch control. Continue holding both. Okay. Oh! Wow. Yeah, okay.
That moves.
Yeah.
Horsepower and torque.
850 horsepower, 1,103 pound-feet of torque from 3 electric motors and a 141 kilowatt-hour battery.
And there's like a 4-motor that's coming too.
Yeah, quad motor.
You can also get a dual motor.
Yes.
You can get this in a pickup truck or this SUV. This is our first Rivian, and we're starting on Gen 2.
Yeah, very interesting product starting from Gen 2 because it feels like it's already like, it's got some things that I would change.
Yeah. But you know, we're used to normal cars, and this is one of like the new style of like weird electric cars that are like small companies like this, Lucid, Tesla.
Exactly.
All kinds of weird stuff that has no Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, just built in.
That's right.
Okay, looks-wise, looks the same, right?
To me, it does.
Yeah, to me it does too. I think it's got updated LED lights and stuff. Like it's got bars that go across, like at the back we can have lights that go brum, 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 brum to guide you when you have your hazards on. Sport through cliche.
Okay, yeah, do that. Oh boy, the suspension.
Okay, the first bump.
Oh, firm and something's mad.
Crossing the line a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
Steering.
Yo, what's with the steering input, Yuri? What happened there? Yeah, this is faster here.
Yeah, and we're on like, just like whatever.
All-terrain
tires.
Yeah.
And this is with stability on. You have two levels of turning it off.
It's sickeningly fast.
Okay, I'm going back to all-purpose.
Yeah, thank you.
We're talking about the looks or something?
Yeah, you started with the front end there. We also have a frunk, right?
Yeah, we got a frunk, which is pretty cool, but let's quickly move into the interior. This is the most impressive part, I think. When you look at it, you're like, these materials, the colors, the choices of everything looks really awesome, doesn't it?
Visually, this does not look like a brand new company kind of thing. Like this is like
established, cool stuff.
Like I'd be impressed if I hopped in here and it was like a Mercedes or something like that.
The floor mats, especially, I love that material.
That's very like Volkswagen kind of thing.
And I think everything here is like not leather, you know, one of those.
Sure, yeah, but like it's very impressive. Everything feels very nice.
Yeah, it's like when Volvo was peak, these guys kept it going.
Yeah, this definitely is like Volvo. Good call.
This is the Volvo electric car, not the Polestar.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the looks.
Yeah.
You like the wheels?
I love the wheels. Except they offer an even cooler like aero disc style wheel.
Yeah.
I like that.
My favorite part is the air suspension, how low it can get. It like the perfect stance parked.
Yeah, for sure.
And what would be the Continental recommended tire for a Rivian?
That would be the Terrain Contact HT.
And then underneath too, we got skid plates and everything protected, which is cool because this is meant for like real off-roading.
Yeah, this is the all-terrain package, which includes reinforced underbody shield, which is basically a skid plate, and then an onboard air compressor in the trunk.
Yeah, but we're not going to do any off-roading.
No, but apparently people...
Apparently it can.
Yes, and people like that kind of stuff because there's all these crazy modes in here, like a camping mode.
So well, you don't need an off-road to go camping.
I'm just saying, there's a camping mode. If it has a camping mode, you probably like to go off-road.
The air compressor in the trunk, the
port?
Hose?
Yes.
The hose for that is in the front, and that'll reach all 4 wheels, so you can like deflate and inflate them as you need through trails.
Yes.
And up at the front, like you mentioned earlier, it is pretty cool because it does have a cover, which can be the soft side for like normal stuff, groceries, but then like the rubber side if you got like dirty boots or something. Then underneath there we have more storage, and then it does have a drain plug, but it's not meant for like tailgating.
Yeah, and then I've experienced this like compressor sound from the air suspension where it makes the whole car vibrate, and it sounds like it's coming from the front. I don't know where the actual compressor is located, but if I had to guess, it's somewhere in the front, and it's definitely not very luxurious because it vibrates the steering wheel.
And then moving to the sides, do you like the body lines? Do you like the way it looks?
I love the overall shape of it. Like it's like a nice boxy cool, but rounded.
Yeah, like the headlights still look a little Pokemon to me.
The headlights are weird because the whole thing's kind of boxy, but then they got these like roundish. But I like that they did something different.
And I think on the headlights it got the new LED bar that'll actually go as you charge. But I charged it at a Tesla station.
Yeah.
And with the adapter it came with, which is in here, and it did not show any bars. I think it's like home charging. But I think this battery is huge and home charging will take forever, and I don't have level 2, so...
The battery is huge.
There's no point of me even bothering to do any of that.
And then the taillight, RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Just straight bar across, which you also showed me this kind of crazy mode.
Yeah, where like you can guide people left and right or left and right
Yeah.
from your hazard thing in here, which is, I guess, a cool safety warning thing. I'm sure Europe would like that.
It's like a separate mode, which
Yeah.
isn't the regular turn signal, which I was like, okay, interesting.
And then this does not have a cover for the sunroof,
Okay.
but we do have like the chromatic blocking kind of thing with a button right there. So that is really cool to have.
I did read that apparently people were complaining about that in the first generation that we did not experience.
Yeah,
So they added that.
I'm going to not look into that first gen ever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume this is their starting point.
I did not look much into it, but that's one of the things that I saw.
And then from the outside, like don't feel like I hear much humming.
A little
The sound
bit.
is quiet. From
Yeah.
inside, like there's like a very faint electric kind of sound.
Like a whirring.
Yeah, I'm not like super offended by that.
I'm not
I think
either.
I'm okay. There's no way to turn it off that I have found even
Yeah,
more, but
no.
like whatever.
Yep. And it doesn't like make it crazier in sport. Like if I put it into sport and you do the same thing right now.
But off like the launch control, you really. I feel it's like when you push your pedal down a lot.
Yeah.
No matter where you are, that's where you'll get the sound. But if you just push down a bit.
Yeah. And that was a crazy launch too. When we're like at roughly half battery right now.
Yeah.
And the range on this thing fully charged is 529 kilometers, which is plenty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then to finish up the looks, do you think this looks better than, I guess, what does it compete with? Model X, Escalade IQ?
Technically kind of a Cybertruck, but not really.
Yeah.
I
I think this is like the most normal
Yeah.
look. And then I guess
I think I like a Lightning more.
Lucid
But a Lightning's not an SUV. so
Lucid
it's
has
cheating.
an SUV, but I don't know if it's a 3-row. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, the Gravity. I
Yes.
think this looks better. This
Yeah.
is definitely a good looking SUV.
Was that Fisker Ocean an SUV?
Yes, it was.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
We will never review that.
No.
And if I see people on the road, I look at them and I'm like, wow.
Dude, none of them have daytime running lights. I don't know how those cars are in Canada.
What are you even doing on the
don't
road?
know.
How did you even come getting this in your hands?
Exactly.
And then trunk. It is a split fold. Power at the top, but not power at the bottom.
Yeah, strange.
But lots of trunk room with all 3 rows up.
Although the load floor is pretty high.
Pretty high, you know, electric SUV kind of stuff. And
Gotta put
then
the battery somewhere.
what's cool back there is that when you lift up the back thing, you've got a little storage compartment for like smaller things there. Like if you had grocery bags, you could keep those there without having them fly all the way around.
Yeah.
And if you lift that up, you got your spare tire there. On the left, you have your air compressor and your like plugs and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think the back end area is all very cool. And you can make the load floor more flat by angling that panel as well.
That is a way better solution than the Lexus LX and Sequoia, those ones.
The little table.
Yeah, those are terrible because whatever they did, just nothing worked well.
And then with the outside, if you notice the door handles,
Yes.
they pop out, right?
Yeah, like most modern EV type vehicles.
This is a car that you need to pay extra for a key fob.
Okay.
This is they give you like a credit card access tap
Okay.
one,
Yeah.
and then you're supposed to use your phone.
Yeah.
I've never spent this much time trying to set up a key before in my life. I feel like a crazy person.
Yeah.
So the key card, cool. I got you to use it.
Yes.
Was it easy?
No, not at all.
Because it's like where you put it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work as fast. It only works on the driver door.
And I'm trying to assess it as if it's a normal car.
Yeah.
And it's not.
So then I finally set it up to my phone after resetting, getting a key stand back and forth a bunch of times, turning it on, turning it off, accepting the key, deleting the key, re-accepting it.
Oh my God.
And it's supposed to have proximity. So when you walk up to it,
Yeah.
it just unlocks.
Okay.
Nice feature, right?
A lot of cars have that.
If I walk around my house, it unlocks. It unlocks in front of my house, right against the sidewalk with the lights on and the door handles open. Like, welcome, take anything you want in here.
Okay, but is there any way to like set that this is your house and it won't do that or something like that?
Yes, thanks for setting up that part of the next thing.
Perfect.
There's the thing that says set home, and apparently that's supposed to solve it. Didn't solve it. It's still like I'm just looking out my window. I'm like, who's got a light shining on my? And the car's unlocked. I did move my fanny pack around in the house with the key fob in it, and it did trigger it.
Okay, so if it has that mode, does it have friend's house mode?
Yeah, exactly.
So you go to the same equivalent house, the same setup,
Yeah.
where you're parked in the driveway of your friend's house.
So say I live in a condo. It doesn't matter because it's in the basement
Correct.
or something. But then yeah, I go to
If
Buddy's.
you're a rich person in your detached house,
I go to Buddy's house downtown, and it's near the drive. It's parked in his driveway out front.
Yeah.
And like, what, I have to empty out my car or change my settings just to make sure it stays locked if I have my phone on me?
Obviously, you take your phone and your key fob and your key card and you throw them in the backyard away from the front of the house.
You should be socializing with people anyways and not on your phone, right?
Exactly. That's what they want, right? Camping mode, socializing
Anyway, so
mode.
I hate all that. I would highly recommend buy the KeyFob for it and use the KeyFob. I do not like phone stuff. I do not like I don't like any of that stuff. So Rivian in Toronto got me a KeyFob, but it is only linked through Sam's account, and I can't get it linked to my account. And then on top of that, it's not like a regular KeyFob. It's kind of just a duplicate of a cell phone. So if I walk around this with my house, it'll also unlock my car that's outside. And sometimes if it's buried in your pocket too deep, it takes forever for the door to unlock. I've waited up to like 15 seconds to try to get the door to open. Look, I got it hanging right there. Overall, I think the key fob, the phone through key, the key card stuff is the worst part about Rivian. If this company just had normal key fobs like every other company, it would be so much easier to live with. So for me, that's going to be a hard no.
And I'm sure, I agree with you, but I'm sure Rivian people are like, yeah, this is the greatest thing of all time.
Yeah, they're probably calling me the dumbest idiot.
Probably.
Like, what, you have your proximity settings on the guy Wi-Fi gigahertz
Wait.
set up with this? Did you know the next wireless update's going to fix that?
Wait till I start complaining about the suspension when I drive.
That's normal car stuff.
No, not for this one.
All right, I'm walking up to my car. Let's see how long it takes for the door to open once I get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I put my hand there? 8, 9, 10. I swear the key's in my pocket. 11, 12. Let me spin this around. 13, 14. 14 seconds and a spin around. Nice. I think Rivian needs normal key fob technology. This is bread my mom made. Key in my hand. Walk right up to the driver door. 1, 2. So it doesn't like being obstructed in a fanny pack. All right, so now it's your turn to drive, and I want you to experience all these screens and all the interesting electric car Rivian stuff that you might have never seen in another car, which might be better in this car than any other car that's ever existed.
Okay, I'm gonna start that by taking this off. There we go.
I wanted to
So
film
it's
you doing
blocking
that.
that.
Well, if you take off that one, then
Oh, there's another one.
then
This was all dusty.
I'm gonna take off this one. Yeah, you think you're cool stuff? Well, check this out. I got another one I can take off.
Oh yeah? I got another one I can take off. Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I do like about this though is when I swipe up my phone and I swipe to the left, the widget covers the whole screen for like quick stuff to the app.
Okay.
And preheating and everything worked really well through the app.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move my seat.
Do
to
not
here.
remember that. Do not no.
Remember. There we go.
Because it's set to me as the driver and there's no presets and I don't know.
Sounds like a weird problem for you. Okay, so steering wheel. I gotta press that, and now I have to use my buttons over here to control that, just like a Tesla.
Yeah.
Because wow, everything's computer.
It's pronounced Tesla.
Everything's computer in here. So, oh, dude, this goes far. Okay, so I actually have to move it a little bit closer. Right changes the height. Intuitive.
Yeah.
For an electric vehicle. Side mirrors, same thing. Now I just move these buttons over here. That makes sense.
Not the worst. Not the worst.
Not the worst.
Not the most confusing.
Remember.
But it's for. I think you need to set up your own profile for.
Okay. Oh look, I could have set it to somebody else. That's how you do that, I guess.
But then that'll change everything inside and all
Yeah.
your drive modes and everything.
Okay. Sport mode. Race flag. Prepare for launch. Launch that guy into the sky. Launch responsibly. Getting ready. Holding.
I think they all got to turn dark.
Yeah. Oh! Holy F. Yeah, that's wild. Considering the size of this thing, like 0 to 60 is under 3 seconds.
But you do get slammed into these like a really hard headrest.
Yeah, the headrest sucks for sure, but the seat's very comfortable.
Forward, back, up, down, lumbar.
That's really nice.
You kind of need it for this price.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And the seats look awesome. The seats look so sick.
Yeah, the seats, the interior, we did mention that. Everything is great about this. What totally sucks is the suspension. And apparently it's been completely revised.
This is a good suspension?
Apparently.
And updated?
Yes. So I don't even know what the previous one is like, but this one's like very crashy in...
Everything is very...
Yeah. So yes, I am in sport mode right now. I'm going to get... Oh my... Like that bump is terrible. I'm going to get into... Let's go conserve. the
So
chillest mode of all time.
Your ride feel is soft. Your standard height.
Yeah.
Your height is standard.
So this road is very, very smooth. But as we get into Cliche Corner, I'm going to experience a lot of crashiness.
It is bumpier, and then I think the truck is still harder than this.
Okay.
I think I heard they programmed the first gen to be sports car-ish,
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
which is all weird. I want to
talk about
this. It's no Magna ride.
No, it's not. And it's no Escalade, and it's no other comparable
Escalade is
vehicles.
Magna ride.
So this one, the steering input, you require so little steering input to make the vehicle change a lot, which is something to get used to, but it's just something noticeable.
When you're flying around cars with all your acceleration, you're like, oh, this doesn't feel like anything Porsche would do ever.
Yeah, like it's too much. If this could be dialed down, that would be great, but I don't see a way to do that because I am in conserve
Maybe
right now.
off-roaders like that because the Ineos had weird steering, and off-road people love that stuff.
And you do feel everything through the steering wheel. Like it is shaking over basically everything, which I don't find very luxurious for the price of this thing. Now we're gonna go into Cliche Corner. We're gonna go over the bump in conserve softest mode right here. That was okay, not terrible right there. Let's go into sport through Cliche. And yeah, this thing responds very well. It's understeering because it is heavy and it's on all-terrain tires, but then it rotates on lift-off oversteer, so there's that. Let's see if we can get some. Oh, it's cutting power on me.
This is full stability on, so
Yeah.
like I'm sure you can goon it up.
Reduced, and I guess
You
I have to hold it.
And then the little guy will probably come up and tell you.
Probably.
This is a bad idea.
Stability off. That sound is cool. Man, the front just like lifts its nose like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
it's hurting my head.
I know, going over the bump, let's see how bad it is. Not the worst
I
over
think
that
it does
bump.
big bumps well, but I think it does little bumps not well.
You feel everything over that stuff. So that's honestly my biggest complaint about this is the suspension.
How do you like the screens though? You used to it?
Everything's pretty intuitive.
It's nice that you actually have a gauge screen, unlike a Tesla.
Exactly. So it's got two screens, which is great. The way that it's laid out is pretty logical.
The graphic design and everything, it's all running Unreal Engine,
Yes.
but like the graphic design is very good. I'm not confused or anything.
Yeah, and everything is very fluid. I haven't noticed any lag at all, which I wouldn't expect.
And then in a lot of these screens, you know how like we get, where was that? How did I get?
What are you trying to get to?
The
Let me
cool,
see if I can find
the
it.
cool artsy stuff.
That was the home screen. Stop pressing buttons.
There's a home button?
No, hang on a second.
That's what I'm saying.
Hang on a
So
second.
there's a way you can get nice pictures, and I like
There.
all those pictures.
Got it.
Oh, the swiping down, do that?
I don't know, I just did this and it went away.
So what if I'm in music mode and I swipe down? Do I get another thing?
I think the swipe down is just a fake way to do what we're just trying to go left and right on the screen.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it's got really cool like 2D style like graphics.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
This looks like anime or something to me, which I don't know what anime is, but that's what it looks like in my head. And then all of our, we don't have any hard buttons.
No.
So everything's in here, but everything's kind of accessible at your fingertips, which is great. You don't have like your speedometer over here, it's in front of you. So like all that stuff works really well. Your shifting isn't done through your brain or anything like that. You use your hand with this. So like that's all very logical. I like that.
Do you want to know what this does better than any other car ever?
What's that?
High res 360 camera.
Oh my God. The first time I
and
couldn't
high
believe
frame rate and everything. Like this is almost perfect, and I'll tell you why almost. But like we have more than just one camera in the mirror. We have two cameras. So I think your front wheels has a different camera than what everything else is using, and then you can like switch from front to back, like this mode here, and we can switch from front to back.
That's like the resolution is insane.
The resolution, the frame rate, like no lag, it's perfect. The only thing is your rear camera, it'll never show like a full 180. So if you're like pulling out of a blind driveway,
Yeah.
there's no mode for that, and I would love a software update for that, Rivian, please.
I can't believe that they're letting me use this 360 camera while
I
we're
don't
driving
think
at, like,
I don't
normal
think it's
speed.
illegal. I think people just thought it was illegal in cars.
No, it's not that it's illegal. It's just that it's very distracting. Because
don't
like,
look at it.
well, that's the thing. It's like, don't let me look at it. That's what other companies do. It's like, here, I'm just gonna now I'm obligated to look at it.
So then here at the bottom we got
You
our.
can't see my eyes, but they're looking over here.
Here we have nav, music, our car stuff, and camera. If we swipe up, then we have more
Where's
options.
our CarPlay?
I already mentioned we don't have CarPlay. I'm going to get into that part soon. So we have our energy, all that stuff.
I just used some energy.
Why do I want to swipe up? There. No.
What are you trying to swipe?
Back to here. And then we have our camping mode, which has a bunch of cool stuff. Gear guard, apparently, I think that's the one that's got like a camera that looks around. At night I walked by it and it had like a guy with a flashlight being like, all right, cool. Like, he's going to record people walking up.
Yep.
but I didn't know how to get it to work really. But
And we even have
recordings up here.
We've got video, so we have YouTube in your park.
While you're charging.
Yeah, it's great.
So that's great. You can't watch it while driving.
No, thankfully.
I think maybe they're gonna put YouTube or something on this screen back here in the future,
wow.
but I don't really know wireless update stuff.
I see Spotify back there, so I assume we have Spotify here. Did you log in?
No, because I only have it on my Apple CarPlay, and
course.
it's my wife's, and I didn't have her to like log in for me.
Yeah.
So, okay, that stuff. We have a 360 camera. It's got built-in Google, right?
Built-in Google 360 camera?
Sorry, we have satellite. We have navigation. Sorry, my head hurts from all the acceleration.
Yeah.
We have navigation.
Yes.
It is Google, and it is 360 camera without having Apple CarPlay. This is the first car that has satellite view, Google Maps without having Apple CarPlay.
Yes.
Very cool, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Did you use it correctly when you tried to find the Tesla network?
We're not there yet. Click the search bar, right?
Yeah.
Voice control to the CN Tower. So there is no voice control unless you connect your Alexa account to it.
So, but it's letting me use this massive keyboard while I'm driving off the road.
Okay.
Nothing's even warning me
There's
about
a wireless
that.
update coming.
Not a single thing has warned me about my eyes being off the road for like 5 minutes.
All right, so that works.
Yeah.
So you can type stuff in, but yeah, there's an Alexa update I think coming where you'll be able to talk to it like a Hey Rivian, because right now there's no controls. You want to change the radio station, there's no voice control.
The suspension's terrible.
I know, unless you're connected to your Alexa. Which would you ever connect your Amazon? Connect your Amazon to this?
No, you know me. I wouldn't connect to anything.
Yeah, and then the other thing I don't like about this Google Maps. How do I exit this?
Swipe up, swipe down.
When
swipe
you
to the left.
zoom out, do you see any traffic on the roads?
No, I don't actually.
But traffic is set to on. It is very hard to see. Like from my house, if I want to drive my kid to the daycare, I can just zoom out on my maps, see if the highway's red, go a different way.
Yeah.
Here, it's not as visible for the traffic. And that's what I like the most about Google Maps satellite view is like, I want to see the traffic.
Yeah.
And then for charging, yes. If you need to find your charger, maybe that's why they have it built in and no Apple CarPlay support, because they want you to be able to find a charger. You can click the speed you want.
Why did the fan speed just increase when I took that turn?
Cars are weird. Your network, so I want to just find a Tesla charger, and then I need to hide stuff I'm incompatible with, because you cannot charge this with every Tesla charging network, just the newest charging network.
Sorry, that beeping is me going over the lanes because there's a sign on the road that I have to avoid.
And I think a credit card was already put into this car.
Okay.
So when I did plug in with this adapter that's here, it all worked nicely at the one that I should have went to right away from following the map.
Okay, so more car stuff. This has one motor on the front, 2 motors on the back, making this a tri-motor. Quad motors coming, where they're going to add another motor to the front, making 1,025 horsepower.
I don't need that.
No, I don't either. This is already too fast.
But it can tow a lot.
Yeah.
7,700 pounds.
So yeah, okay. It also weighs around 7,000 pounds, so there's that. Less than a Hummer.
Let off the gas.
It's got full one-pedal driving that you can customize between 3 different modes. Regen is currently low. You can't turn it off, which I would love to do. But hey, maybe a future software update.
No,
probably not.
But I did have one stop that. Stop that. I did have one instance where I was coming up to a light, I let off the pedal, and then it just like stopped regenning and like coasted me neutral. I'm like, what the heck? And I had to hit the brake. I asked, I don't know why it did that. And somebody on my comments on Instagram was like, well, what level was your battery at? I was like, 60%. He's like, did you just start the car? I'm like, this shouldn't matter.
No, it shouldn't. Hey, Rivian.
No.
Fan speed down.
We will not do that. Let me just...
Hey, Google. Fan speed down.
There we go. You can adjust our vents.
Thank you, Rivian.
We can adjust our vents through the infotainment. You like that?
No, I hate that. What I do like is seeing the battery temperature for absolutely no reason, the motor temperatures for absolutely no reason. I like that stuff.
Well, the battery temp,
that would affect your charging.
You could see on the way to the charging station, you'd be like, oh, am I at the right thing yet? And I think this is like 400 volt architecture, not 800 or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna charge like, it's got a big battery, so it'll probably take like 40 minutes or something like that for 10 to 80%.
Yeah, I don't really get into the details of that because everything changes so much and half the chargers are broken, so I don't want to even think about it. But I did charge it successfully.
Yeah.
And you know what you don't need when charging it?
What's that?
Oil, because it's an electric car.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
So there's no dipstick.
No, there isn't. And even though electric cars don't need engine oil, they still need other fluids like transmission fluid, coolant, and brake fluid.
Click the TotalEnergies link in the description below to find out what your TotalEnergies recommended fluids are. Heated seats,
and
cooled seats, heated steering wheel, but I found that the heated steering wheel was like the weakest amount of heating.
Okay.
It didn't like heat.
It also feels cheap. Like this is probably the cheapest feeling part on the interior so far.
Maybe because it's like not real leather.
Yeah, recycled.
But like This
whale
headliner and
something.
stuff is nice.
Yeah.
Okay, visor test.
Oh, first Rivian one that we've ever done.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, good job, guys. Yuri, where are our cup holders?
Right here. Pops
Exactly
up.
where I expected them to be.
It works pretty well, and then you could put 2 wireless charging here, you could put your phone there, or you could plug in your phone through the USB-C and have it sit in your cup holder.
Okay.
Because you can't have it sit here, because then the wire hits here.
Sorry, my eyes are completely off. Oh my God, this suspension.
Yeah, it's bad.
Dude,
Get it a sport. Stop driving this like a sports. And
But I have ride feel on soft still.
and there's also off-road mode too.
Yes.
And towing mode.
It's
whatever.
cool that it differentiates those.
Okay, and then I forgot something about the infotainment.
I bet you did.
You're connected to your phone, so
Yeah.
you can make phone calls, I guess.
Yeah.
By saying, "Hey Siri."
Oh, what?
Well, like there's no button. I don't know. You can click through here.
How do you say "Hey Siri" to this thing? You just say it to your
No,
iPhone.
because your phone. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
You just
'cause
say
it's
it loud
Bluetooth.
enough and it picks it up.
Yeah, gotcha.
But you get a text message. It doesn't show the
Gone.
thing. This car like kind of promotes like texting and driving because it doesn't
Yeah.
have Apple CarPlay. Anyone who doesn't have like built-in CarPlay or like a good system is promoting texting and driving.
Fully agree.
So that part's side, and I think maybe it'll read messages when the update comes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't trust any company that's going to say anything's coming in future update.
Well, you know what did come in the future update right before I got this car?
What?
Hands-free adaptive cruise and lane centering on the highway.
Yeah, so I did read into that. Apparently it's a trial, so you're going to have to pay extra for that later. And apparently the Spotify stuff is also an extra trial. You're going to have to pay extra for that later.
Well, you need to use your Wi-Fi or your, I think, $20 a month internet for the car, but I'm not sure if it's unlimited or not, to power all that stuff too, right? And even like your satellite view and your Google Maps, you're only getting that because your car has internet.
Yes.
Which I was trying to get into this car where we were filming at the dead end road.
Yeah.
And like the data was not good.
Yeah.
And it took like 30 seconds to unlock the car and get in.
That's a long time. And I'm sure there's plenty of these things on tsp.truecar.com for discounted price offers. Used, brand new, whatever you want.
Gen 1,
Gen 2?
Johnny Lieberman's yellow truck.
Yeah, maybe.
I gotta read what he said about the suspension on that.
Oh, I bet he said it's the nicest thing on the planet, Yuri.
Do you know what sucks about this car?
What, Yuri?
BMW turn signals.
Oh, I did notice that.
Have you noticed that? Like, you almost need to press more force than you'd like. Like, it's the heaviest turn signal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's too heavy.
It is a little bit, but it's cool that you have the cameras for that, like Hyundai, except
Blind
these
spot
are
monitoring in your gauge cluster.
except these are much higher resolution.
I actually feel like I could use this to monitor my blind spots, where the Hyundais, I feel like, I don't know about this. Let me think if there's anything else with this screen and stuff. I mean, I think there's more. You can open your garage, you can look at the cameras and stuff, you can play that back.
Can I open my glove box with this?
And there's no glove box. There is just this here, which is actually electronically controlled, which is funny.
Unnecessary.
And then here we have a speaker. Ugh. Okay, well, I can't pull it out right now. I think you have to be parked.
Maybe.
But there's like a speaker that's also a lantern. In
Yep.
your driver door, you have a flashlight too.
Of course I do. Well, not an umbrella. And I do fit in the second row, no problem. I don't really fit in the third row, but unless
Well enough.
Yuri's sitting in the second row.
If you have accommodating seat positions, like it's not the worst.
Yep.
And then, lucky for me, the headrests come off, so you can fit a child seat back there really nicely.
And I love this like plaid over here. It's pretty cool.
It's like similar to the carpet stuff. And then
Exactly.
you got a little hook here for hanging stuff and USB-C, but it is not for hooking up your phone to watch. And then sound system, it's all right. I think I saw
alright.
Savage Geese. He said it was really bad.
Okay.
So he's got the tools that check all that. He
Yeah,
knows
yeah.
best. Apparently the sound system has been updated like 3 times since Savage Geese's video to this one. I thought it sounded pretty good. Apparently a lot of stuff has been fixed. I didn't know you could over the air update sound systems, but shout out guys for making it better than it was before. I did not use the sound system because I am not connected through my phone.
Right, yes.
So I was just listening to FM radio in this almost $200,000 electric car.
Should we get to the price?
Bring it back to the age of my Miata.
Oh boy.
I think that is pretty much it.
Yeah.
Lots of cool stuff. Let's get to the price.
It starts at $158,900.
Canadian.
And this one is $174,600.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a lot of money, Yuri.
it is a lot of money.
I honestly would never purchase this in my entire life because of the suspension. I think this is probably the worst suspension I've experienced on an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
And even a gas vehicle in more modern times.
I get that. It's not like the end of the world, but it is like
For that amount of money, it is the end of the world for me.
But I can see why people would want this as a brand over like a Tesla or over like a GM or something, right?
I think it looks cool.
It's like a good alternative electric car.
It is. But I just wouldn't consider it. I think the suspension's that bad, and I don't even know what the first gen's like. Maybe the first gen's better, because this is all revised, right? Never know.
Yeah, maybe it's opposite land.
Exactly.
Anyways, fun experience with the Rivian. Excited for them to make a sports car. Is that coming? A sedan? I hope.
Oh, dude, they got that little R3 thing.
Oh!
That is cool.
That'll probably be fun.
That is super cool. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Let us know what we missed or got wrong. I know we missed a lot, but it's a very confusing car with lots of cool stuff in
I'm
it.
looking forward to the Rivian comments, because we haven't experienced that yet.
I bet you they're nice owners, right?
We're about to find out, Yuri.